So when I first started playing organized basketball in fourth grade, Dwight was Mr. Gunnare was the coach. And he was my coach in fifth grade and sixth grade, and then in seventh grade he left Ashland and went to this school called Colstrip, which was a big
Yeah.
rival of ours. And so he coached against us in seventh grade, and then in eighth grade I changed schools, went to Broadus, and Colstrip was even a bigger rival there. And so eighth grade, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, Mr. Gunnare was always on the coaching staff and always had to play against him. When I was a senior, we were the number one ranked team in the state in Class B, and Colstrip was like second or third in Class A. It's tied with a minute left, and our coach disagrees with a call, and he just loses his mind. He gets three technicals, and he's ejected. So
Wow.
so Chad Sukett, really good basketball player from Colstrip, he goes up to the line, shoots 6 free throws, makes them all, and then on an out of bounds play, the ball goes to Chad. He hits a 3-pointer. So we've gone from tied to down 9 in like 5 seconds, and we end up losing, and I'm mad and sad. Like, I've got this whole mix of emotions going through me, because we should have not. If we lost, we shouldn't have lost that way. And I was mad. I felt like it got stole from us a little bit. And so I'm going through the line. Dwight Gannare's on the staff, and he stops in the line and he grabs my shoulders with both of his hands, and he points at the scoreboard and he says, "Don't let numbers ever define you." He said, "Those
Yeah.
are just light bulbs up there." He said, Your identity is going to be how you handle difficult situations, and this is a difficult one. But that stuff up there," and he pointed at the scoreboard again, he's like, "that doesn't matter. How you handle it does." And then he kind of cupped my head in his hands. He goes, "You played a hell of a game, and I love you." And I was like, "Thanks."
Wow.
And I just go through the line. Well, that was 1994, so 29 years ago. Be 30 years ago, like in February, and
Wow.
at the time I was totally lost on me. It never I didn't resonate with me at all. As I've gotten older and I've coached kids and had my own teams and all this stuff, I'm like, man, how cool was that he took the time to just stop and say that to me, because he could have just been
Yeah.
like, "Hey, Beth, this is tough shit, that's a bad
Yeah.
deal." But he stopped and he said that to me, and I've always felt like super lucky that I was important enough to Mr. Gunnare that he stopped to tell me that day. And he's a coach down here in Wyoming. He coaches at the college level. I've had a couple kids from my travel teams, at his camp. I've got one of the girls that played for me. She's playing for him now, and it's just cool how it all comes full circle. But man, when you're in a leadership role or a coaching role like that, it's pretty important to say things to the other team when they need to hear it too. Because I've, I mean, I remember where the commas were in what he said to me, and I don't know why. It was just a huge deal.
Yeah.
Just a
Yeah.
really cool thing that he stopped in the moment to let me know that in the whole scheme of things, this didn't matter.
It's amazing how the words we say and like the things we do affect other people, and to us, it's just something we did in passing, and it means the world to the other person. You don't know
Yeah,
until
I've
until
told.
30 years later.
Yeah, I've told him about that. We reconnected like 6 or 7 years ago, and I told him that story, and he goes, "I remember that game, and I remember all that, but boy, I do not remember telling you that in the line." And I'm like, "Well, you did, because I
Yeah.
remember it specifically." And I bet I've told that story to 25 kids over the years where something has happened that didn't go their way, and I've grabbed them as they came out of the locker room or whatever, or off the golf course, and just said, "Hey, this isn't your identity. How you handle it is."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just been a really cool thing. I didn't realize it when it happened to me how cool a thing it was going to be.